Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. And I'll talk about a few other things as well, but I got to start with this. ISO 222. Everybody always asks me the same thing. When is this going to happen? Why hasn't it happened already? A new financial system is building out in the background while you're waiting for XRP to take off in price. That's what's going on. That's where we are at right now. But here's Paul Tamala telling you it's going to happen this year. Take a listen.
All know happens with ISO 20022.
All right, so looking at 2024 then, and getting your forecast, what are sort of the main big steps to sort of summarize what we've covered?
I think the big steps are, guys, it's just going to happen. And whether you think it's 2025 or it's going to slip to 2026, it's not. It will be a 2024 issue. And actually, you need to bite it. You know, you really need to get yourself ready. And if it was up to me, I would say automate it, because otherwise, you're just going to be doing a lot of busy work, and that's not good for you. It's not good for your customers.
So think about it like this, okay? They're planning this for 2024, and it's just going to happen. And that's why I always told you, you always have to be invested into XRP. Because if this happens suddenly, and the price takes off suddenly, all of a sudden you realize you had the chance to buy XRP 2 for $1. Now you're buying it above $1, above $3 at a new all-time high. That's why it's so important to always be holding. And you know, I said it multiple times. We're halfway through 2024 right now. And the second half of this year is expected to be very big. Even Brad Garlinghouse told us the crypto market cap, the total size of the crypto market cap by the end of this year should be above $5 trillion. So they're expecting big things. Let's see where we go from here. Wow, Ripple's David Schwartz drops a bombshell. If the cost of payments goes down to zero, the world is going to change. Get ready for a financial revolution, folks. XRP is about to do it for banking what email did for communication. Get ready to send money as easy as sending an email. Remember, that's what Bitcoin always promised to do, but failed. It looks like the real Bitcoin is going to make that happen. That's what XRP is, the real Bitcoin. And it looks like the BIS is getting ready for AI. The rise of AI has implications for the financial system and its stability, as well as economy via changes in aggregate supply, through productivity and demand, through investments, consumption, and wages. Take notice what they have here. Increased productivity creates new tasks, labor demand, and wages go up. Displaced workers, labor demand down, wages down. We know AI is going to take a lot of jobs. It's also going to create new jobs. It's the same reason that Harvard has free classes on how you can upscale your skill set so that you can work in the field around AI. Because they already know AI is going to take a hell of a lot of jobs in the near future. Why should central banks embrace the latest AI technology? He walks you through this. He talks about quantum computers. He talks about how we're going to need AI when it comes to the new financial system. We can't even have a new financial system without AI being involved. You know, they always talked about how they're going to track everybody's transactions, how they're going to shut off people's money. Humans wouldn't be able to keep up with all that. AI would, though. And, you know, people always said that CBDCs are going to enslave the planet. Everybody. But, you know, CBDC technology isn't built to enslave you. It's just that if it ends up in the wrong hands, that can happen. That's why I'm so eager to see what happens in other countries first when it comes to CBDCs. So this comes from Swift. By bringing it to the front end, you see your clients using you. They don't go somewhere else. They use you. So it looks like Swift is now getting focused on the front end. Remember, I always said that at Visa, MasterCard, and at banks, they always want to utilize RippleNet technology on the back end, you know, like the settlement layer. It looks like Swift knows that Ripple is going to dominate the back end, so they're now pushing to the front end. And you know, the front end is where you get all these nice new shiny apps that make life easier and make transactions easier, make buying things easier. The back end is where everything settles. And that's always going to be a problem for Swift, even going forward. Is Ripple a threat to Swift? Key difference: Swift GPI is a network of banks, whereas Ripple technology is sold as a product to individual banks. Swift GPI will improve things a little bit, but it won't really match the speed, efficiency, and visibility that we create when the Ripple network, so we don't go look at them as a serious long-term competitor, stated Ripple VP of Customer Success. So think about it like this. If Ripple's VP is saying that they don't see Swift as a long-term competitor, that means that they're already planning to steal more and more business away from Swift year over year. Standard Chartered and BNP Paribas use both Ripple and Swift, they stated. Ripple cannot yet compete with Swift. It doesn't cover all the country currency corridors, but it can currently provide broader and higher quality payment data than Swift. As Ripple continues to expand into new countries and corridors, more banks may begin choosing to leverage Ripple products. Do you believe Ripple and XRP are a competitor to Swift? You know, I kept pointing out more and more rails getting set up by Ripple all around the world. Look at all those money transmitter licenses that they have here in the United States as well. Ripple is getting ready to replace Swift. That's the end game for Ripple, in my opinion. And if that was to happen, we would definitely be looking at a 4-digit XRP. That would happen more long-term, year over year. Short-term, I think Ripple steals 10% of Swift's business, and we see a 3-digit XRP. I just wanted to clear that up. But when Ripple states that they don't see Swift as a long-term competitor, that speaks volumes, because that means they already know they have a better product than Swift. More people are going to choose to use it. Now, a lot of you said, how do you know a black swan is going to happen inside of crypto? Well, it's because the World Economic Forum and that evil bastard Klaus Schwab has been telling us for years. Take a listen.
There will be certainly what we call the black swans, the unpleasant surprises which will come in our way.
So endless black swans and surprises. So think about that. What's happening right now? I think one of the biggest black swans that are going to hit the crypto space is going to be the fall of Tether, because it's also going to take Bitcoin with it. But Tether cannot collapse Bitcoin out on its own. That's also going to happen because once Bitcoin starts crashing out, the money's going to be leaving Bitcoin. And people are going to be looking for an alternative, another place to put their money. Plus, you got to look at the narratives building around Bitcoin right now as well. I think that was all part of the plan, especially once BlackRock got involved with Bitcoin. So German government moves millions and seizes Bitcoin to Kraken and Coinbase, signaling potential sell-off, with 425 million transferred in a week. could this pressure Bitcoin prices? So why are they all of a sudden getting ready to dump this Bitcoin? And it's not just them. This is also going to happen. Are we about to see $9 billion worth of Bitcoin dumped on the market? Failed crypto exchange Mt. Gox set to distribute these funds back to their owners early next month. Some are sitting on absolute life-changing profits. Now, a lot of people said it's not 9 billion. They said it's far less than 9 billion. Other people said that this has to happen right after Mika goes live. So think about that. Mika's going live, which is going to affect Tether. We don't even know how big that's going to be yet. That could send shockwaves through Tether. It could even depeg. Beyond that, all of a sudden you have people dumping their Bitcoin, because most of these people most likely have been waiting to get their Bitcoin back for a long period of time, and they just want to get out of it after what happened. So those two events are going to take place. This is what I'm saying. It looks like something is setting up. Gold is the greatest store of value in the history of mankind. Now, when they're creating this narrative on the mainstream media news, and we see it multiple times now, and then all of a sudden we have the rise of tokenized gold happening as well. So the store of value narrative around Bitcoin starts to die off. And now people start investing in actual tokenized gold or actual gold. I see more people pushing towards gold more and more all the time. What I'm saying is, it looks like something bigger is building out around Bitcoin. Now, you could listen to the mainstream media news, or you could listen to Michael Saylor. He explains how Bitcoin could hit $10 million per Bitcoin. But here's the problem I see with Michael Saylor as well. All the time, all over X, you see MicroStrategy is buying up, millions and millions of Bitcoin. Okay, so they're buying. Why is the price always dumping when Michael Saylor says he's buying? I think Michael Saylor is using retail as exit liquidity. Now, this isn't just my opinion, but there's something sketchy there. A week after Bitcoin went live in 2009, Hal Finn explained that if Bitcoin is successful and becomes the dominant payment, then its value would be between $10 million per Bitcoin. Today, we know that Bitcoin has failed and cannot become the currency that Satoshi initially envisioned. XRP would have to be at least 4 digits. And that's what we're going to see happen. XRP is going to do everything that Bitcoin was meant to do, but failed along the way. And I tell retail investors all the time that I run into that invest in Bitcoin, I tell them, listen, the narratives that you see are changing. This whole space is changing. Even BlackRock is telling you they don't care about the Bitcoin ETFs. They only looked at it as a stepping stone to get people involved with crypto. Then they go on to tell you right after that tokenization is the next wave in crypto. BlackRock is here for utility as well. And then you could go over and listen to Franklin Templeton. They tell you that Bitcoin was the biggest distraction for what's coming next. They know that utility is the path forward. So everybody that's creating these ETFs are still here for the same thing, utility. And that's why it's so important to stay invested in utility. If it doesn't solve a problem in the real world, it's just not going to make you rich going forward. That's the way I look at it. Plus, we're on the verge of stablecoin regulations. We're on the verge of crypto regulations. Once crypto regulations come, we will see the flip of the switch moment happen shortly after. All of a sudden, the biggest financial institutions will be getting involved with crypto. All those NDAs that Ripple has will become the daily announcements that you see all over X. except at the same time, the price of XRP will be rising as well. That's what I see coming. And you know, I don't hate Bitcoin. I think it's going to have one more massive run up, and then all of a sudden we're just going to see the end of the massive run ups for Bitcoin. I still don't believe we are ever going to see 150K for Bitcoin. I just don't think it's going to happen. The world's shifting in a whole different direction, and Bitcoin has no place in the new financial system. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.